So I'm Dan Blank, the founder of WeGrowMedia.com.
How do you, when you're working with authors, surmise like what their platform should be, and how do you help them get there?
So it's really two things. So one, it's really understanding your audience, and I'm convinced that most people, whether it's a brand or an individual, they do very little research to really understand their audience. They like it to be as broad as possible instead of narrowing it down, and they go by on assumptions. They assume kind of things too broadly. So I always ask authors that about who's your audience. I get these really vague answers back. It's women or kids or people over 55. And it really illustrates to me they haven't really done the research to figure out who specifically their audience is. In terms of how they differentiate themselves, I think the second part is voice. That every author is unique, and every author has the same tools. We can all start a blog, we can all get an agent, we can all do a media tour, anything like that. Your voice is the differentiator. Even if you're putting a book out that's just like 1,000 other books, you're the millionth book out there about gardening. Not just your expertise and your experience, but the way that you cover it, the voice that you have, the way you connect with people, that is something uniquely you. And when you pair that with what you know about the audience or a certain niche of the audience and how you connect with that, that's when it becomes something really special and something unique to you as a writer, not just unique to the market.
The technology, the barriers to entry to publishing have gone down. Mm-hmm. The ability for anybody with a savvy sense of themselves and their talent can jump in. That's led to more and more books in the marketplace than ever before, more ISBNs assigned through Bowker than ever have been, which makes, one would think, the marketing challenge even more difficult. So yes, the barriers to entry come down. Yes, you can do it, but more and more people flooding over means you standing out is even more challenging than it would have been 5 years ago. How, again, when you're talking to those authors, do you set that sort of long-term goal? When you talk to them about what they're going to get out of the writing experience, what are the big messages that you pass along to them?
I mean, you want to have an effect. So I'm always looking at the qualitative differences, not just the quantitative. People too often, they're looking at social media saying, how do I get more followers? I get more people to like my Facebook page. They're skipping the fact that often that data point is really ineffective of anyone buying your book or really becoming a fan. So it becomes an issue of the qualitative difference. It's almost like Kevin Kelly's 1,000 true fans idea. You have to be targeting the right people and forging meaningful connections. I mean, I come to, I'm at a conference right now, and what you're seeing is people lighting up because they recognize people they haven't seen in a few months or a few years. They're reconnecting on relationships. So when you talk about there's more people trying to get attention, you've got to figure out who specifically do you want to reach? How are you doing that in a way that is more meaningful to them and more genuine than anyone else? Because the more people that are screaming for attention, that gives you an opportunity to be the person they can trust, they feel they can connect with, and the person that resonates with them.